Hey guys, I just thought I would talk about two particular Reddit posts that were done in NEET, the NEET Reddit community. One was on the idea that NEETs should go out and be more active, to get out of the house, go to a library, I don't know, do outdoorsy kinds of things, and not to be, pent up at home, rotting away, as they say. And then someone, the other one is that, well, I'll cover some comments first. So the comments on the first topic would be, someone commented below that this is like redundant, this is pointless, being active, going out, because you might as well just be like a wage cuck. You might as well just, this is what wages do. They're very active. Now, I kind of agree with both people, the OP and the commenter, because NEETdom is a very broad concept. You can choose to be inactive, or you can choose to be active. I mean, what is the definition of a NEET? Someone who is not in employment, not in training for the sake of employment, and also not in education for the sake of employment. Maybe if I give some examples, it'll help clear this mess up. So, for example, when I'm educating myself, when I'm reading a book of, I don't know, Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics, I am literally educating myself. But I'm not educating myself for the sake of employment, right? So it fits this definition of being a NEET. It's okay to learn new things. When I'm outdoors, jogging, and training the skill of cardio, being active outdoors, I am not, doing my training for the sake of learning a job. I'm literally just developing myself, just like the earlier philosophical idea. So I agree with both people in the sense that, being either active or inactive is consistent with NEET. You can lay down and rot, or you can go out and be active. You can go to a library and read Aristotle's works, Plato's works, anything you want. Educate yourself for self-improvement and not have to do it for the sake of a job, right? For working for, as the meme says, for Mr. Shekelstein. That's how the meme is cashed out with NEETs, right? When you get into the all of the various stories that are talked about on YouTube and on various forums about what it is to be a NEET. And so these are not necessary for being a NEET. So someone shouldn't try to gatekeep, NEETdom by saying, oh, you're too much like a wage cuck. Even though you're not working, you're not in employment, you're not in training, you're so active, you might as well go get a job and be a wage cuck. You're indistinguishable from him or from this person. No, I reject this. This is not the definition of NEETdom. Remember, it's a philosophical concept. As far as I could tell, NEETs kind of reject the economic idea, the economic concept. So I think NEETs might even include some people that are kind of earning like a loose kind of income. They're not working for Mr. Shekelstein, as they say. They're working for themselves, you know, very loosely. I don't know, like, suppose they're doing, I mean, my background is in construction, so suppose they're doing a drywall repair business. They're repairing drywall, whether ceilings or walls. And they're working, I don't know, 2 days a week or something. Maybe not even 2 full days, half days, and or 3 days, 3 half days, and that covers all their rent, all their advertisement costs, their tools, their material, their food, you know, their rent. It covers everything. I mean, this person is a NEET in a sense, because he's not working for Mr. Shekelstein. He's not wage cucking to some higher up. He's not beholden to an employer. You know, he's working for himself. He can stop whenever he wants. He can just, you know, quit, stop paying advertising money, and just lay around for a month if he wants to. Go back on NEET bucks or do something else. So this kind of person is, in my view, seems to be closer to a NEET. I'm curious what you guys think. Maybe write in the comments whether you think someone would classify as a NEET if just by not working for, you know, Mr. Shekelstein, as they say, but possibly working for himself, you know, loosely doing freelance jobs here, there, and everywhere. I think it's possible to be a NEET. And so yeah, these things aren't required for being a NEETdom. You don't have to be active or inactive, to go back to the main point. So I reject what these guys are saying in one sense. They're trying to restrict, you know, NEETdom to being active or inactive. I say no, both are possible. You can either be active or you can lay down and rot, you know, be inactive if you want to. NEETdom incorporates both views comfortably. So that's all I have to say about that. I'll cover the other idea in another video rather than making this one longer. Put these videos in bite-sized pieces. Alright, that is all. Catch you guys later. Bye. Actually, there's one addendum I want to make to this idea. I just thought about it as I was driving, and that would be, I'm just going to pull over for a second. Oh, what was it? Yeah, I remember now what I was going to say. It's important to actually know what you believe in a sense. And this is where logic becomes very useful, because you can analyze your worldview. Well, what is a worldview? Well, it's simply a state of propositions, you know, that are all joined together and that are true together. There's no contradiction, you know, one of them is not false. They can all be true together. It's your view of the world, of life's most important questions. And I think whether you work or not is it's an important question to be answered, part of life, because it influences a large part of it, and so it's important to know your worldview. And so to avoid future problems like this, where people are gatekeeping NEETdom in a very restrictive sense, we have to be a little bit more sophisticated intellectually, and try to train our NEET brothers and sisters to think more consistently, critically, to define their worldview, to define what do they mean by being a NEET. Is it consistent with the community at large? Or are you ostracizing yourself? Maybe you want to make an offshoot of NEETdom. Yeah, you can make an offshoot and say, I represent the community that is only laying down and rotting at home. Maybe you could say hikikomori NEETs. You could make a distinction, right? Yeah, that could be a genuine distinction, sure. But in the forum where this was posted, as far as I could tell, this includes all NEETs. broadly speaking. So if you're going to post in a forum talking about all NEETs, you can't restrict it to either being active or inactive, you know? You got to be more inclusive. At the end of the day, everyone has to gatekeep. You know, if you're going to be a critical thinker, and try to live life consistent to your ideas, you're going to have to, in one sense, do some sort of gatekeeping, you know, analyzing the concept and saying, hey, no, you're actually not part of this group in you know, literally, if you look at the definition of conceptually of what it means to be, you know, X, Y, or Z. So yeah, I encourage you guys, you know, to develop these skills, you know, logic, being part of philosophy. And I might include some links below on some, you know, introductory courses online you can watch to get yourself into this. Anyway, yeah, leave some comments below whether you think, as I said before, definitionally, whether the idea of working for Shekelstein, as they say, as the meme intimates, whether that is a necessary condition for being a NEET. Sorry, no, not for being a NEET, for not being a NEET. And if it's sufficient as well, is it sufficient condition for not being a NEET? So therefore you could, you know, in a sense work for yourself, piecemeal jobs, and still be considered a NEET, because you're not working for Shekelstein. To not work for him is a sufficient condition for being a NEET. Anyway, yeah, leave your comments below. Please subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. For reals. Bye.